So what is the highest paying niche on YouTube? Well, in this video, I'm going to go through exactly what I believe to be, in my own personal opinion, the highest paid YouTube niche. And I'll compare it with other niches to sort of see how many views you would need to acquire per week in order to make the equivalent of an average wage. Now, this video was kind of hard to make for me because I did have to do a lot of research and sort of calculate individually different types of channels that do different sort of categories of videos on YouTube. Because while there are 300 hours worth of new videos uploaded every minute on YouTube, there really aren't many that actually expose how much they make on their channels. So I've kind of had to handpick different types of channels and sort of do a particular calculation, which I'll explain in just a little bit. If you do enjoy these type of videos and want to see more from Connor and myself on finance and business type videos, consider quickly subscribing and maybe leaving a like on the video, as it does help us out a lot. Well, now that's out of the way, I'm not going to go individually on every single different calculation I did with all the different categories on YouTube. But if that is something you'd like to see, just let me know in the comments below and I might be able to do a top 10 highest paying niches on YouTube. But for today, we're just going to focus on what I believe to be the highest paying one. Now, before making this video, I did do research on YouTube as well and looked at, if this video has been made before. And obviously there are similar videos on top 10 niches and things like that. But none of them explicitly tell you exactly the CPM that these niches or categories really on YouTube actually get paid around. No one really gives you a definitive answer to anything. They just sort of talk about the categories, whether it's beauty or gaming or whatever it might be, but they don't actually tell you exactly how much they make per 1,000 views. So I found that to be kind of cheap and not really what I was looking for. So in respect to everyone else's videos, it is actually pretty hard to find what the highest paying one is because you can't really just search it up. Instead, what you have to search up is kind of like the highest paid YouTubers, which these people do go through in their videos. But what I'm interested in is the CPM specifically. I want to know exactly what the best category is on YouTube to make the highest amount per your 1,000 views. So I digress. The way I achieved my calculated guess was to do this formula. I would get a YouTuber's earnings divided by their views, also times that number by 1,000, and that would pretty much equal their CPM. Now, obviously this number is pretty estimated because you can't really take everyone's word for sure. Even when people make videos on YouTube about how much they make, there is different tactics and techniques to sort of shelter the viewer. But regardless, this formula is the closest thing that I could do to achieve a sort of estimation of how much different categories are making on YouTube. Now, what probably might not be a surprise to most of you, after looking through numbers and checking different sort of categories that I had in mind to be pretty high up there, overall, I'm pretty confident in saying that finance YouTubers are the highest paid on YouTube. So that covers heaps of videos that talk about money, finance, business, VPNs, insurance, credit cards, all that type of stuff, which for Connor and myself is good news because hopefully we'll have a high CPM. But what exactly is the CPM for this niche? Well, I've tracked 3 different YouTubers' videos that all make similar content in that finance niche. So the first YouTuber, I looked at a channel called The Fire Grind. Now, after calculating his analytics with that formula, he makes about $17.64 USD per 1,000 views. Now, at the current time, that translates to $23.23 Australian. Now, he's one of the smaller channels that I looked at and believe that what he was showing was pretty accurate. For a bigger finance channel, I looked at Graham Stephan and one of his last videos talking about how much he made. Now, he was pretty sneaky in this video because he didn't actually ever show his CPM. From my recollection, I'm pretty sure a lot of YouTubers are actually pulling away when they make these sort of type of videos of how much they make on YouTube, because I think YouTube has changed it to whereas you can't actually show your CPM. But regardless, he gave us enough to where I could calculate it, and he makes about $30 per 1,000 views, which translates to about $39.51 Australian, which is significantly higher than the Fire Grind. Now, for the third YouTuber that I looked at to get this information for this particular category, the channel is a fellow Australian channel. His name is Justin Baldori, also almost at 10,000 subscribers. And now, while he didn't actually show his CPM either throughout this video, where he talks about how much he makes on YouTube, I once again used the formula and found out that he makes $30.67 Australian, which in turn would be about $23.29 USD. So I feel like it's safe to say that the finance niche, depending on what types of videos you make, you're going to be making anywhere from $20 to $40 per 1,000 views, which again is, in my opinion, the highest paying niche on YouTube. Now, why exactly do I think that? Well, I did other research on all the categories I thought would be up there. And to give you guys an idea, a gaming channel called Matt CS, where he makes CSGO videos, he showed his analytics and goes on to say in the video that he only makes about 56 cents per 1,000 views, which is an insane difference and honestly doesn't really sound fair compared to the finance niche. But still, this also goes to show why I'm focusing this video on the CPM and not so much what the highest YouTubers make. Because while finance channels might actually make more per 1,000 views, other channels like gaming, which are just much more digestible, get a lot more viewers generally because they're broader. So what they lack through CPM, they almost make back in viewership. But moving on to the third part of this video, and how many views would either channel, whether you're a finance channel or a gaming channel, need a week to sort of make the average Australian wage? Well, first of all, I searched up what the actual average wage is in Australia, and I looked at the abs.gov, and it is about $771.20 per week before tax. Now, if we times that by 52, we'll get about $40,000 Australian, which is about accurate for what the average wage is here in Australia. So a finance channel, say, making an average CPM of $27. We'll need about 28.56 thousand views a week to make the average wage in Australia, which seems extremely possible for the average person. Say you make 3 videos a week and they each just get under 10,000 views, you're making an average wage purely on YouTube. But when we compare that to a gaming channel, and let's be a bit more generous, let's say that they make $1 per 1,000 views, because I have seen when I was doing my research that gaming channels tend to make anywhere between 50 cents to $2. For the purpose of this video, let's just say $1. Gaming channel making $1 CPM would need 771,000 views every week to make an average Australian wage. So it's a very big difference compared to this finance niche. And I feel like that example really puts it into perspective of how one channel could be getting millions of views and another might be getting a couple 100,000, and that smaller channel is making way more than the bigger channel. But that's pretty much it. That was, in my opinion, the highest paying YouTube niche on YouTube at the moment. Let me know in the comments below if you disagree or agree, or if there's something I missed. Maybe there's a category I missed that actually makes more. Maybe you'd like to see the top 10 niches on YouTube, but actually showing the calculated CPMs for each category. Let me know in the comments below. Here is a video that YouTube thinks you'll like, and here is our last video.